Hey guys, welcome to Nadine Car Chronicles. It's story time. I know I'm a little late in uploading this to you, but the things happen. And so here we are. Today's story time is a crucial one because there are two most important decisions you will ever make in life. The first decision is what you do with Jesus, whether you receive him or you accept him. But the second most crucial and important decision that you will ever make in life is who you choose to marry. And one thing I know is that the enemy will send you counterfeits. The enemy will send you wolves in sheep clothing. The enemy will send you darkness marked or disguised as light. He is good at doing counterfeits and sending counterfeits into our lives. All right, with that said, here's the story time. So prior to me getting out of prison, I had a list that I had written down of it was on those legal pads, front and back, about 30 something things that I wanted in my future husband. And so I kept that list. I actually still have that list to this very day. I'm gonna have to show it to y'all one day. So I put on this list, and when I got out of prison, the Lord had challenged me to dwindle that list down to three non-negotiables. And I can honestly say that all three things Benz has. Not only does Benz has all three things, he has everything on that list and then some. God not only gave me what I wanted, he also gave me what I needed in Benz. So I'm going to say all of that. But just know that the enemy also will try to stealthily move in your life, to send you counterfeits in your life, to dangle a carrot in front of you so you can settle. So you can settle for what the enemy wants for you as opposed to what God desires for you. So when I got out of prison, I wasn't looking for marriage. I wasn't looking for a man. What I was looking for was a church, to be honest with you. And so I'm looking for a church. In my process of looking for a church, I met a guy. He introduced me to his church and went to his church. He was a great church. His father was the pastor of the church. He and his brothers were very involved in this church. His brothers were deacons and so forth. And so I started attending this church. After some time, he and I started dating. He was pretty much everything that I had written down on that list. I'm not going to lie. He had the outward appearance. He had, some of the characteristics that I could see from, with my naked eye. Just some things that I could see about him that I could say, okay, these are some characteristics that I would be interested in with a future husband, right? He was financially secure. He had his own businesses. He had his own homes, not just a home, but homes. I mean, he was pretty established in life, and he was walking with the Lord from what I could see, guys. He was walking with the Lord. So he and I started dating, but I'm not going to lie to you. After some time, I felt an inner nudge. You know what I mean when I say an inner nudge? It was like an inner caution sign, inner warning signs. The guy didn't do anything. He had the chivalry. He opened the door for me. He was nice. He was kind. My family liked him. It wasn't anything that I could put my finger on, except it was an inner sense that something wasn't right with this guy. I just couldn't put my finger on it. We continued to date. Lo and behold, he went privately and asked for my hand in marriage, asked my mother for my hand in marriage. She delightfully said yes. She liked him. She liked what he could offer her daughter as far as, being a leader, being a head of the home, what he could provide, the role model that he could be for her granddaughter, who was my daughter, and so forth. My daughter was about 7 years old at that time. And so she delightfully said yes. And so they had a private surprise dinner for me where he actually got on one knee and proposed to me. And everybody, I looked around, everyone was so happy. My family, they were, here's Nadine. She just got out of prison. She got this good guy, this godly man proposing to her. And this had to be something that God wrote up. But on the inside, I still had an inner nudge, guys. So I said yes, but it was an uncertain yes. I said yes, but it wasn't like a yes. It was like a yes. Oh my gosh. And so we kept dating and so forth. And I took that inner nudge, that inner warning, that inner caution. I didn't throw it away. I didn't care what this guy had, the package deal. I didn't care about the houses. I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about the chivalry. There was something on the inside that I wasn't going to throw away. One day I got off the phone with him one night and I felt that nudge so strong after I got off that phone, and I hung up. I said, okay, God, talk to me. What is it? Now, at this time, he had already started remodeling one of his brownstones that we were going to move into after we got married. He had my daughter pick out the color of her room. He had me pick out the kitchen, the stairwell, all of that stuff. I mean, it was the package thing going forward. And I'm just like, but I'm feeling this nudge and I'm not going to ignore it, God. You tell me, what is it? Reveal it to me. Give me the spirit of revelation. And sure enough, it wasn't even a week. 3 or 4 days later, he picks me up to take me to work one morning. We're driving. I worked in Brooklyn. I worked in Queens and I lived in Brooklyn. We're driving down the boulevard. A car pulls up next to us and there's 2 guys in the car and they keep looking in our car. So I looked at him. I didn't know them. So I said, do you know them? I think they're trying to get your attention. He looks over at them. He's like, no, I don't know them. So they drive up. So he started driving faster, like behind them. He said, no, these guys didn't try to disrespect me while I'm in a car with my girl. And there was a different posture. There was like this thuggish posture that was rearing up. I'm like, okay. So he pulls up these guys. Now he's chasing the guys on the boulevard, but it's rush hour. There's a thick traffic. He stops the car on the boulevard, guys, opens the glove compartment, pulls out a Rambo knife. This is the church guy. This is the godly guy, the chivalry guy, the professional guy. Pulls out a Rambo knife, starts running down the boulevard, chasing after these guys' car, jumps on top of their car and start punching the window with the knife to try to get his hand with the knife into the car. They swerve the car. He falls off the top of the car. Now he's walking back towards me. And I'm frozen. I'm like, God, if I run and he catches me, he's going to probably kill me. If I stay in this car, he's probably going to stab me up. What should I do? And I heard the Spirit says, Nadine, be still. Go along with it. And I'm like, go along with what? Go along with what? He comes in the car. He's like, you understand why I did that? I did that because you belong to me. I did that because I own you. I did that because you're mine. And I'm like, the devil is a liar. I don't belong to you. I belong to the Lord. But I went along with it. I said, He said, now I'm going to take you to work. And when I'm come back for lunch and we're going to talk about this. I got in that building. I collapsed on the floor. My boss came. He worked well with the NYPD. We put out a restraining order and all that stuff. For days and days and days, this guy kept calling me. I mean, nonstop, showing up at my house, nonstop. One day he calls me and I answer the phone to say, do not call this number again. When I pick up the phone, for some strange reason, I could hear him on the other end with the brother on a different phone call. And he's saying to the brother, but she belongs to me. And that brother says, no, she doesn't. That young lady is a child of the light, and you're a son of Lucifer himself. You're a child of darkness. And this guy says, I know, but even the son of Lucifer gets the child of the light. I realized, I hung up that phone trembling, that the enemy sent him. He saw my list. He put out a masquerade. He put out a false light. He sent me something that was looking like the form of something that it was not. Let me tell y'all something. Never throw off your inner nudge because of somebody's outward appearance. Never ignore. Love yourself enough to not ignore your inner nudges. Love yourself enough to walk away knowing that God has something far better for you than what the enemy wants the carrot the enemy wants to dangle in front of you. Never love yourself enough to not settle. That is my encouragement for you today. Love yourself enough to not settle, because the enemy will send you a counterfeit when he realizes that you're willing to settle.